Want to play a game? Try to guess how long it will take for Saw 11 to hit theaters. According to producers Oren Koules and Burg, it's not impossible for the franchise to keep going. Spoilers ahead. Saw X could be the final Saw film. While it's technically a prequel, taking place 3 weeks after the events of the first film, but before Saw 2, it's very much a thematic sequel, intended to be seen after every other film in the franchise. It's the first film in the series to put Tobin Bell's John Kramer front and center and to ask the viewer to empathize with the Jigsaw killer as he undertakes one of his life lesson torture sessions. It's a showcase for a character who died too soon in his own franchise, a big Halloween present for the fans who have stuck with the series through thick or thin. But after 10 movies, do you really think the Saw series is actually going to end? Like all respectable horror franchises, this one is going to keep driving until the wheels come off. And Saw X is one of the best films in the series. Of course, Saw 11 is a very real possibility, especially since the latest film unlocks the timeline. All bets are off. Prequels, sequels, betweenquels. The Saw timeline was joyful chaos before, and now it's more labyrinthine than ever. Following a screening of Saw X at Fantastic Fest in Austin, Texas, Slash Film sat down with producers Oren Koules and Burg for an interview. The duo has been with the series since the very first entry. To save money, Koules played the very much alive body Amanda has to extract that key from in the first film. So if anyone is able to talk about what's next for Saw, it's them. They were cagey about the future of the series, but it's clear they're bursting with ideas. Saw X just needs to be a hit first, they said, which it now is.
Sometimes we get sucked into things that are against our nature.
Regarding the ending, Koules and Burg noted that they don't like to think too far ahead when it comes to follow-ups, but in the same breath, they teased a sequel possibility. Burg told Slash Film, "Being that we're superstitious, we kind of don't really talk about a sequel until this movie opens. But if this movie should open, do you think John Kramer Jigsaw would want somebody out there knowing who he was? There's only one person. We kind of kept Cecilia alive in this movie." Cecilia, a con artist who tricks dying people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars each with promises of a miracle cancer cure, is still drawing breath when the film concludes. As one of the nastiest villains in the whole series, it's an interesting choice, but her being left alive to seek out John or to be sought out by him in a future sequel certainly gets the imagination cooking. While Saw X takes the series backwards in time, there are plenty of lingering threads in the present day. Jigsaw introduced another still-living Jigsaw apprentice. Spiral, from the Book of Saw, introduced a copycat killer inspired by John Kramer's work. Have we seen the last of those two? Could they team up in a future sequel? Burg and Koules seemingly don't want to rule anything out, but they won't confirm or deny. So what is the next step for planning for a possible Saw 11? It certainly sounds like Koules and Burg have a system. Part of it involves watching the fan reaction very closely. Koules said, "We don't test screen the movie. We don't know what audiences like. For the next month, we'll read a lot of Reddit, read all the different sites, read fan sites, and see what characters they identify with, what characters they like. In a weird way, the release of the movie is our test screen. Most studios will test screen and film 3-4 times. Burg stepped in to continue this thought, making it clear that they carefully monitor fan reactions following the release of a Saw movie, and use that feedback to determine the direction of the series. Amanda came back to this movie because Oren and myself read so much about the audiences wanting more of her, and quite frankly, wanting more John Kramer. Because of wanting that, we decided that's where this story came from. So there you have it. If you have strong feelings about Saw X, the masterminds of the franchise are paying attention, and they may react accordingly for Saw 11. But what could a sequel be about? Fans will note that Saw X ends with a young child very much alive, very much aware of John Kramer, and very much having bonded with him in a near-death experience. In real time, that kid would be an adult now, and maybe ready to lead a sequel.